video games. So think they play GTA. So there's the character that you control, there's a character other people are controlling, and then there are other also characters that nobody's controlling. There you go. They're just there. Now what they're doing is they're putting AI for each of those characters to a point that they can do whatever they feel they need to do in that real world. So meaning they can wake up, go out, do whatever. They are going to the shop to buy food. They are going home. They will do all those things thinking they are individuals. And then you will just show up in the game and you will see them at whatever point they are. Depending on what time you log in.
Or even what year. I love that. I think it's beautiful. I love that. So they're building a time construct around them, right?
Thank you. They're basically giving them that concept of time.
Yeah.
Movement.
Well, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
You say it's brilliant. No, I'm telling you real life. Go and look at the new graphics thing that just came out from what was their name? Not Nvidia. Yeah, no, it's Nvidia. Their software, their graphics engine. Something 5. I know the name is 5. The letter, the number rather. But no, the idea behind it is it's able to simulate real world movements. Not only that, they're also able to add AI to any single element within. So for example, you can add AI elements to the weather. In other words, you can sync it to real time, whatever the weather is outside. If it's snowing outside where you are, when you enter GTA, for example, and you come out from your house with the snow, that's where it's going. And that snow, the way where you could drive inside snow, inside your car, now the same with that same driving condition, it's not going to give you summertime. If it's raining, same thing. If it's windy, same thing. So what I'm saying, so what you're saying, I know they play GTA, but I'm giving you an example of a game that I know you play. Hack, Sims, same thing. With Sims, what they're doing right now is they're giving Sims character the ability to dream. The new Sim simulation that they're working on right now with the new GPU card from Nvidia. That's what they're doing right now with AI. Hold on, calm down. I'm trying to make you understand the depth of simulation. What you can simulate on the right hardware in combination. So the same way they talked earlier, say the reason why they say fuck Apple is because the hardware where you make, is it in sync with the software or is it out of sync? And I would expect you, the creator, to keep that in mind. To come to you. You understand? So I'm saying, hold on. No, let me finish. Then you talk. I beg you. I like this song. This song is pretty dope. I apologize. I feel like I was yelling there for a second.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, because I feel like it's the only way I can get my message across, and I'm trying to talk fast. Do you understand? Everybody free me. Look, what I'm trying to say is, if they achieve what they're trying to do with Sims, hold on. Who's to say that one day one Sims character somewhere is not going to dream of God? What's to say it's not going to question its own existence? They already are. They already give us credits. You understand? And I'm saying, rewind now to our own history. You understand? You mentioned when we're talking God, you use one word, small g. Is there a reason why you say it? You see, and this is the line of evolution that I feel like sometimes we think so highly of ourselves It's like, okay, so what if there's another set of aliens or beings or something else that created us? But guess what? They didn't create us with the intention of, oh, God sent us to create you so you can be like him.
What the fuck are you saying? Why are you speaking that way now?
Calm down.
Okay.
Let me land.
You're speaking ignorantly of a grand design. Why are you speaking in those lines?
Is to say that small g's don't exist.
No, I feel
who is to say big G does not exist in a grand scheme of simulation. Hold on. Because to us, hold on. To us, oh sorry, I beg you, I'm getting too much. To us, the creators of Sims that were giving them the ability to dream, we should be small G to them. If they become sentient or sentient, I can't remember that word. They become conscious, and they ask, "Are you my God? Are you God?" Well, right now, Snapchat, they have AI that you can chat with. You can ask it questions, you can talk to it. As new updates, why I know say they just put in like a couple of days ago. And I'm saying, yeah, to that, if the AI can ask you, are you God? You don't understand the person who creates God. See, there you go. So now this is you. Who created great or God? See? And this is no, wait. This is also to say what you consider. Hold on. See, what you consider evolution.
What you consider common sense, you mean?
Is zeros and one. Yes, it's common sense. Calm down. The common sense to it is beyond what we perceive as common sense because we wait.
Common sense is common sense. The level of comprehension.
We're going to have this conversation another time.
People that try to make things look more than what they're not. No.
It's okay. I'll line with this. No, came out. You understand like that today? Everybody will be something that. All I'm saying is, look, to think of Earth as the actual computer that we live on makes a lot of sense. Think of hold on. Wait now. This is why I said the way you think of God has to change if you're thinking from a simulation point of view.
What is it?
Because you guys think simulation, like you get end user now.
Use that, my nigga.
You get the person who created the thing. Can you hear me?
Who was it? I was listening to something, and he said that within consciousness, you find that you find an observer, the observed, and the people perceiving the observed. So the observer, the observed, and then the audience, kind of thing. So essentially, it's kind of like there's that Trinitarian aspect of even the singularity that had to emerge in order for the singularity to experience itself.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Something had to start for something else to start.
Yeah. It's like you say to you, it's like Biola fall asleep, and then Biola is watching Biola fall asleep. There's the Biola that is watching Biola sleeping. There's the Biola that's sleeping on the bed. And there's another Biola but it's all the same Biola. One state can be liquid, one state can be gas, one state can be ice. One can be asleep, one can be awake, conscious, observing, one can be the observer or the audience, or you know what I mean? It's kind of like the Christ Barnabas. I'm sorry, like the Christ, the audience, and then the God in heaven. So he himself is referring to his father, who is him, and then the audience are him too, because he and them are one. But you got to keep the drama going. So only that singular consciousness, you know what I mean? Only that singular consciousness in the center of it all, only that Christ consciousness, which is the apex of the pyramid, right? Only that consciousness, which is one with itself and all of itself, only that consciousness will be aware of itself simultaneously, meaning I am aware that I am not here. I am aware that I am asleep in my bed, and I'm aware that I'm having a conversation with you right now. I am also aware right now that you and I are in that blue room right now because there's no time. And I'm also aware right now that you're standing at my funeral. I'm also aware right now that you and I were at some point, at some region we've met before in some time. So awareness, what is it? It's the same person in graphs. Imagine a graph, a mathematical graph. Is the same dot in all of the dots of the graph. Is the same person having multiple experiences in different cascading timescapes within all at once.
So the spectrum.
What can you be aware?
Grand illusion of time.
Thank you. So I can. Thank you. That energy, like this, you can be aware of all of yourselves.
One thing for me to hear you call it the grand illusion of time, because it's a phrase you've heard. Because in real time, it's not an illusion because time is constant. Time is the only constant that we
Let her
know.
explain what she means by that. Katambeta.
Well,
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
in the conversation.
No, what does she mean by that though?
So, yeah, hold on, right there. Time is an illusion. Then I want to interrupt you because I know that's bullshit. You know better than that. Time is constant.
Here's something I shared in the same group, garage.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just.
It's okay. I said to them, you know, you have to forget everything you know.
I agree.
And start on this path of questioning everything.
I agree.
For you to truly have a clear, decided mind as far as
I'm gonna do that exercise right now. Not right now, but I'm gonna, you know. In fact, I think it's something we should do more often than like yeah, like oh, let me yeah.
On a momentarily basis.
Yeah, it's a good advice.
Explain.
But then you're not falling into that category, and I can't let that slide.
I was thinking about where I am right now.
No, you're not there. You're better than that. You've gone beyond that. You're not that. Don't speak that way about yourself.
What did you say?
What you just said is not you.
I said I am God. I am that I am. What the fuck?
Okay, then we need to refurbish who you are.
That is less. You want to refurbish? Okay, me refurbish. Me walk out. Me fire. Me my yoga, me jump out right now. Hold on. No. Where I'm going with that? No. Again, it still goes back to what I said. We are the God we're looking for. We are what we are seeking. The problem is that we just don't know it.
Did you see your more fucked up than you thought?
I mean,
if you really think about it.
Yeah, I am.
As a black man, I saw you from now. I shared your plight, you know, Maza.
I Oh, by the way, we don't form new word. We call her Umaza. Equality, fuck you.
Right.
23, Mazako. I'm adding that to the dictionary tomorrow.
My stomach. This nigga said, Kafadaku manja beg.
Yo, they use Maza kilos. Maza this, Maza that, Maza this, Maza that. Guy, Maza. Kema, I need to check. Equality, Mayati. Yo, use Maza kilos.
Hey, how many deaths? How many lifetimes? Over stupid things. Over Nyash. Over Maza. Guy, God bless you now. God bless you now for this campaign when we start.
Hold on, sorry. Your line was breaking there.
I said, God bless you now for this campaign. Don't allow Kufadamu Sunan Kuma, Kufadamu Sunan Kuma Niman Koya, Kufadamu Niman Koya. Aye, they broke.
Sorry, man.
That is classic. That is classic. Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yes. We suffer. Allah, mushawa Allah. Kiyakuri, mushawa Allah. Not mushawa Allah. Kinsani. I don't do that, man. Why when you get here, there's no gari inside this one. No gari. There's no locality with this one now.
What do you mean there's no locality? What is local about it? Not in mind, you think.
No, he said Umaza Kinchi Abundafada.
I'm teaching you, bro.
Yes. Put me. No be woman you did. I beg.
No boy.
Go back. Put the camera. Haba.
This is necessary, man.
Yakamata.
We go celebrate, we go dance, we sing for kids like last.
The minute.
I beg. They don't cook out who push who out. I beg. Yeah, okay. We did already. Anyway, sorry. Umaza is a new word.
That's a t-shirt, nigga. That what?
I know, right?
Umaza.
Like,
That makes sense.
Yes,
Always talking Maza. No, Umaza.
There's a way you gotta say it during nice things, you know? How easy you'll get to it, bro. Don't worry. sorry.
It's
See,
just
and this is what I mean.
stupid people, man. I'm like, this
What
is
do
too
you call
much.
this leaking, bro? Are you kidding?
But
Out of nothing.
here's the thing.
Out of nothing.
You know that thing you said?
Sorry, there's too much conversation. Hold on. Sorry, Park,
No,
hold
but,
on.
but you know that
Sorry,
thing.
when we're talking, and you guys wait. When we're talking, he can talk that we can hear because our voices.
So, Kajimana.
So we need to chill when he's talking.
So,
No, nigga, this is more like Congress. You could vote.
so Kajimana, tambaya. If mm-hmm. So like
you will still find shit. Mainly because I had to get out.
What's your own inside now? Man, how's the day now?
not their house now. Are their house now?
What is that?
So Nike's asleep. Nike's asleep. So mm-hmm. So I was thinking about.
Hi. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking. You know, I was thinking earlier. You know how this mind is such a. It's really the space that we look at, like, you know, when we look out space, it's like that's the inside of our. Even though we don't have like the mind doesn't have a picture, that's a good image to kind of fill in that because it's just so vast. And there's so many, as it is said, you know, in my father's house, there are many rooms or many mansions. There are many rooms in your mind that you can.
No, just sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You kill him there. You say the mind is vast. You speak about where are you from? You speak about a lot of mansions in your father's house.
Yeah.
Just to add to whatever you were about to say,
mm-hmm.
I just want to remind you that mind is still your father's compound. Do you understand that? It's still your father's compound. So when you talk about the vastness of your father,
I like that. That's
you
deep.
are still, again, you don't baban kanyo. Kagani.
Yeah.
Okay. It's still within that space, and I
would
rather you think of it as that than as two separate entities.
So no. She said something that is helping me. Kabarta Kawai. So Badin Tambeta Unia right now. Let me just ask something. Before I forget, I beg, before I forget. So now I'm thinking, you know, it's just and I you know, sometimes you just got to repeat things to make sense, or maybe hear someone say it to you again so that it makes sense to you, you know, finally. So, but you said something, you said it's your father's compound. Now, we also said something, the conversation was about the self being present here and knowing that self being God. So is when the Father leaves heaven and descends to earth and is conscious of self and is conscious within you here on earth.
Right.
Who is dwelling in heaven?
I'll speak to you about about even when we look at ourselves, we have characteristics, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about God being omnipresent, omniscient, all the omnis. So the personality of God defined as omnipresent, omniscient. It's okay. I don't look up. Don't worry. All of that. All of that personality of God represented. I feel that should answer your question, no?
Now I have another one. The polarity of
answer to that.
Pause the music. No, we're talking. We can't hear each other.
okay, if God, if you here is God and there is God, where does the negative polarity come into play? Where does the devil live? Where is the devil in all of this? Are we assuming that he's suddenly inexistent? And in that case, who played him in the past? Was it God?
God is light. Hold on. God is energy. Right? And God is frequency. Now, when you look at that, hold on. When you look at those, what is God? It is an endless source of power. Right? God is an endless source of power, which, when we understand power could be used on the negative scale or on the positive scale.
Now let your husband answer that one.
Right? Now, when we talk about let's go back to Christianity, which I believe all of us are aware of, which is God and Satan. It is common sense that I feel you should know even that question was a stupid question, because based on what you know as a Christian, it tells us God being Odogun, which is energy source, the source. Odogun
is what? Odogun is Allah.
Hold on.
Odogun is Allah.
Power, right? Outlets of power, and he chose to cast down, or let's say abandon, or let's say shut off connection to one of his plugs.
He doesn't care about us like that.
Shut the fuck up.
Sorry, he doesn't care about us like that. I beg you.
Hold on.
Jump in, nigga. Again, what I'm saying.
Are you?
Fuck off.
What is it?
With that shit, yo. No. Again, it is humorous of us think that we know the mind of God.
We're not trying to do that.
Again, for us to do that.
How can you be God and not have his mind?
To be something that we currently are not.
But you just said that you were God. How can you be God and not have his mind?
What we describe to be God is what I refer to. When we sit down, and this is why I say for you to even, you don't know, we can't even do it. Wait, stop. I am not.
No, you're not, but you are, and you're digging yourself more rather than actually seeing the light and standing in the light.
You be the judge as well.
I'm not trying to be a judge.
Don't worry, it's all good. OG, you too. Please. I feel free to stand trial. It's okay. Bio. I don't give a fuck.
Because I do, because
you are God. You just cry.
I don't want you to stand up.
But what makes us the God? Is it the body or the mind?
Like everything about you and me and you and you. Everything about us. The process in which we were formed Not even, before I even get to that, sir, the odds at which you were chosen to be that special sperm, that one sperm out of how many thousands with the one shot of cum?
Just.
No, I'm being real with you, my nigga. No. You see, like we're special, but I don't think we understand how special we are.
You're like, stop.
Let me.
No, that's like you have to give context before you go there. That's not fair. You need to. It's transition.
All right, so check this.
Don't play that back. Finish with your thought.
Hold on, no. Hold on. Check this. It's 11 o'clock right now.
Ooh.
I just got to beg you. We're gonna have this conversation maybe on Friday night. Is that okay?
Okay.
Today is what, fucking Wednesday. It's gonna be Thursday tomorrow. I would like us to have this kind of conversation more openly, more, like it's very interesting. I want to hear what everybody else has to say too. Sorry, my trying to roll the joint. You roll the joint? Yes, please. We're looking for you. Right there. The film is not the same one you thought. Could you hear me? What is it that is outlined in the Bible? God will not give you something you cannot imagine.
What does that mean?
I think that's the verse. Okay, so maybe it's just pastors that have retranslated that, but I've heard a pastor say, hold on. Have personally lost touch in the word of God, so you cannot even forsake yourself. Thank you for pointing that out. It's okay. All of them are like fucking bitch ass niggas. So as you know that, let me quote them bitch ass niggas. No, that is. You know what I think Christians even, but I think Christians like usually they think Christ was like. I do not portray to be. Are you not, as a Christian, are you not trying to be more Christ-like than anything else?
I thought that's the whole goal.
I'm sorry?
I thought that's the whole goal, yeah.
That's the whole point, man. Like, even the name and the title is like, I don't know, like, so are you Christian? To say, hold on, Uncle and OG. You guys are overshadowing. I can't hear what he's saying back. Calm down. We're all having a conversation. It's all good. I just got to beg you. The God that you're looking for, look in the mirror. Look inside water, you could see it. I don't know about the water shit though, because it doesn't matter. Look at your reflection. You will see it. And I say that simply because of what we are not just made of, but what our history has been. Even what we describe, what we've documented, what we've regurgitated to ourselves time after time again, what we've programmed ourselves to be, that image of what we describe. Look, man, I gotta show you there's a specific time on Earth, if you rewind and you just showed up with a tablet and you're showing people videos, the way they will look at you. What's your point? I don't get that. What is your point? I made my point already. Okay, so
that was the point.
Because what you said, what you said was very derogatory.
I am allowed.
No, you're not. You're not allowed to be derogatory. Think about how people conversation, these things we're talking about is pinching me in my heart.
Why is it pinching you? Because it's real. Perhaps maybe you need to meditate, think about it. Maybe you should sort that out for yourself.
Where I'm in a zen space where I could get in.
After you do this, because I wouldn't want you to go to Florida and then you're doing this with me there, because that don't make sense.
I wasn't asking you to come. they can take me, like send me there. So I
Who they pay for you to go do it in a place? Would you pay for me to go to Nigeria right now as I did like this?
not be easy, man.
Maza, you don't see back. You don't see such a conversation. Maza,
Yeah, silly. That's so classic.
Like what? You cannot pay for your husband to go on vacation. What's wrong with you?
Did she call you? She say Maza. She say Maza. Classic.
I need Maza Keba. You too. Feel free.
You know that thing, ba, that Maza thing. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to take a little break from Nigeria. You know, because I'm really not trying to compete with all these strong ass niggas.
You already told they don't chop for their life.
I just wanted a quiet place. I just need a quiet place to think, you know? Yeah. Not Jimala.
And if you to the matter, who your mother yanzu?
Yes,
Because it's a real time.
But what do you mean by that? When you say that, what do you mean?
It's not a bad thing.
I know it's not a bad thing. But you know that just because we tease you back doesn't mean it's a.
Baba, the gods don't want me to hear whatever you're saying, but your line is echoing so much I can't hear what.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Go ahead, please.
No, I was just saying, you know, it
No, I didn't know you go. Samara this night.
You won't go somewhere.
I do your back is like to where? I'm like, I'm asking for you. You have 50 of your smoke.
You know we have to.
I beg. I'm going to play that song. I beg you. Sorry, go ahead, please.
No, I was saying this is you know, it's fascinating, you know. But I feel like ultimately we are saying we're saying the same thing.
The same shit. Just on the spectrum.
Yeah. And I think, you know, and I can speak for myself with this, just say that, you know, my own understanding, you know, okay, aspects of what we're saying that that is more clear to me. And then there are aspects of the things that we're saying that are not so clear to me, that will require, like, I don't know, just time to kind of understand it better. You know what I mean? It's kind of like how, you know, like I love the analogy you gave with the Sims game and how they're making it even more realistic, and they're deepening the simulation in that the characters within the simulation are having a more richer experience of that simulation, perhaps even an experience that can give them the delusion of consciousness, maybe even within the simulation. I don't know. As AI right now is, or what do you call it, this large language models, as they call them, are spewing out what they call delusional content, right? But they already have capacity to recreate what they see within the natural world, hence the art they're creating with Dali and all of that, right? They have the capacity to not only listen to all of the content that is on the internet, watch all of the videos on the internet, read all of the articles on the internet, and out of all of that material, they can begin to now predict what our next statement or sentences will be. They already have a map out graph of how I think, meaning they can predict my mind brain pattern of where I'm going to. Would Mapak now attribute this feature to God, for instance, and or this anomaly, would Mapak now attribute that to God? It can predict that based on my pattern of thinking, for instance. If it knows that I'm the type that will say, well, I experience whatever, and I know it's God. Like, if it wants to make me sound crazy, it can, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? If it's just fascinating that it already has a dummy model of me in its mind, and it's using that dummy model of me with all the sets of attributes, right? With all the properties that define these characters' persona, down to language, speech, and mind brain map. When I say mind brain map, what I am saying to you, this might not have been proven yet, but it's already conversation. It's already a conversation within the artificial intelligence space. These machines are syncing with our minds. And this is it's not even science fiction any longer, because they've done the ping pong tests with monkeys. Apes are controlling machines with their minds, so they already know. So what I'm saying is, when you talk about proprietorship and privacy, and I don't even want to get into all of that. I don't even think this is the subject matter for that conversation, or this is the platform for that. But the gaskiya shine, when you talk about all of that idea of even our thoughts are not ours any longer, right? So when you say me, what is the boundary of me? Where do you begin and end? You know what I mean? Like, anyway.
I can answer that question.
Yeah.
Attention.
Okay. Okay. What do you mean by that?
You're driving, you're in traffic, you know where you are, you're aware of your situation.
Yeah.
There's no going forward, there's no going backwards.
Okay. I love that.
If you go left, you see a billboard. On the billboard, in that moment, it will capture your attention by default. You have no choice. Attention, what you are actively thinking about.
Yes. It's like drilling a hole. It's like a tunnel. It can lead you to a whole nother frontier. The thought, the paths of the thoughts within the brain. If you follow those different paths of the thought, you can create
that. Reprogram the fucking brain.
Yes.
I know this because I'm glad everybody has left. So I'll make this quick. I'm going to try to wind you everything I was saying back. You're the God you're seeking. Attention. There's a conversation I was watching. A podcast. With I can't remember the name of the guy. But anyways, the person he was talking to was Neil deGrasse Tyson, on his podcast. I'm gonna try to remember his name. I'll probably send it to you. But one thing he said was that it's become apparent that they've captured and monetized attention. It's apparent. I couldn't help but agree with him on that statement.
But let me, I love that. Hold that right there. And then let's bring the Anunnaki into picture quickly. While you're holding that, the whole premise of divinity was to build a character that has undying attention by others. Abi? The whole premise of social media is to democratize Godship into now the singular small polarities of these Godhead. Now each have their fan base, their followership, their worshippers.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, if first it was just 20 sets of gods, and now there are 8 billions of them, how do we give 8 billion gods the same experience? How do we get them to get that experience of godship, that idol, fanship? Isn't that why we call celebrity stars?
Right.
Where did the word star came from? I saw a star, I mean, it's the same back to the Anunnakian Egyptian mythology and all of that, right? We give them Oscars, which is the image of Ptah. Ptah, the first god that gave birth to Ra. Right? Self-created, self-generated God. He birthed himself out of masturbation. Yeah, that's Ptah. Because the imagination, the masturbation, think about it. Think about ejaculation. Think about that point of coming and that imagination that springs into the mind. Think about it. They knew, even the children they were creating were intentions. No be so. This kind, as they come, I'm imagining, I'm desiring the ones you want in the world. I desire a child that will come into the world, and the problems that you've seen in the world that you desire to be solved, that child becomes the solution. It's what comes in, it's all like to solve something. There's nothing that's coming in that is wasteful. Everything that's coming in is coming in its divine time to solve a divine problem. That's why everyone has a zodiac. And just like the
problems come. Yep.
Everybody has a zodiac, and just like the rat kingdom, human beings too are locked within the time of birth dictates who you will become. The time of birth dictates who you will become, meaning your social status is affixed by the stars. The seed, you know that when you hold corn in your hand, you already can visualize a whole farm of maize now. Yes, now. How can you tell me, oh, seed, we don't know what you will be. Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, we don't know. Oh, we don't know. Angama. You, before the seed come, the man is finished. That child that we look at Toby, we see the infant and the man, the grandfather and the father, the son, all in one, all inside that seed. So what's the greatest gift that the Anunnakis gave us? What's the greatest gift that the gods bestowed upon man, and or the gods bestowed upon the demigods, or whatever was before us that gave us, that made us conscious of self? Greatest gift is life. That's why we held the Ankh, which means life. The greatest gift was the ability to recreate yourself. That gave you the ability to literally become God on the material sense, because you're now self-generated. I don't want to get too, you know what I mean? But I feel like, all right, I get it. What you're saying is absolutely true and right. We are the gods that we are seeking. I am the God that I am seeking. We are, as a collective, the I am that I seek. And when I connect with you, I try to access that I am through you. You becoming a vessel. I try to bypass these several layers like onions that are maybe the first is Biola Jala, the second is like all of these things that are beyond what I know or think I know about you, right? To the bullseye on the target, which is the centerpiece, the essence of that self, right? The nucleus of that self. And I try to imagine that I am communicating or I'm interacting with that nucleus, which is the God self within this being. Whether the being is thoroughly conscious of itself as such or not, period. Period. That's not, each being I come in contact with, I'm coming in contact with the same being. The same arrangement of particles is the same arrangement of particles I come in contact with every day with different masks on. And so I try to, again, not shift myself like, oh, I'm now speaking to a different person. Oh, his skin is of this complexion. Perhaps I should lean and or lift. You know what I mean? I try to maintain a balance, knowing that what I am speaking to, and note I say try because that's one of the most difficult things. Because what you're trying to do is you're literally collapsing all that you believe, all that you knew about reality, right? Because traditional thinking says when I walk into a room or when I meet the other, I'm meeting an other. I'm not meeting myself. Kagama magana when you say something else. Thank you. Now bad guy. Thank you. Magana kena. Thank you. Thank you. So no matter how I am to you, I am you. Do you understand? That it's like it's like you see what I'm saying? It's like you're trying to understand. I am just trying to understand myself in that body, in you. And I'm trying to connect the nerves in my brain. I'm trying to get them to wire from all these different parts of the brain. I'm trying to get us to connect those nerves. The more connections we have between my nerves of my brain and your nerves, the more we perceive and can you know what I mean? The more in sync we will be, so to speak. So ultimately, is the self getting to know itself. And that's the journey of, oh, I'm marrying self, right? And then I get to know self through that, again, that mirror effect, continuously learning. You learn that, wow, if I am afraid of of that other being outside, for instance, Goliath, could that actually mean that I'm afraid of myself? And you sit in the room with that until you confront that. Because in the end, you realize, wait a minute, I'm afraid of me. I've become a madman. Look, let me show you this. I've become a madman who, look, with his own hand, just those mirror effect, has demonized this one, has made this one this color, that color. And then now, when I see them, I'm confused. I love this one more than the other. I mean, I feel this way towards this one. No, it's just my own hand, and it's still attached to me. Maybe you gave me that analogy of the whole, the separate aspect of the cell being the one, We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
And each of the cells is having a singular experience, but at the same time, there's a cohesive experience.
Collective.
Yeah, it's having a self experience, but there's also a overarching collective experience that binds them all, in that one cannot even exist without the other. So it's like it's interesting. It's I thank God for learning, man. Somehow, right now I just pray for the strength to just finish the work.
No, and I appreciate you saying that, because it actually goes in line with a conversation I had with someone a couple of days ago. I need to call him back too. We were talking about just understanding self, and just sometimes understanding when self needs to take responsibility for self's action. This was more specific with relationships that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And like the kind of person I am, honestly, I question myself all the time, talk to myself all the time. I feel it's necessary for my growth, for my own well-being as a person. And I had one of those kind of conversations, and this is also one of those kind of conversations too. It's like, what do you believe in? And for you, like Nanko said, well, she didn't really say it properly, but you believe in what you don't know, and what you know, you don't have need for belief. Like, you don't believe in what you know, you believe in what you don't know. This is where faith comes in. Even everything I described to you earlier, as far as my beliefs are concerned, I still don't know. And why do I say that? I haven't carried out no fucking experiment. I haven't tested it myself. I haven't walked in that line. I haven't really. Do you understand? Man, I go put up antenna, build this new. I haven't done that. So there's a certain level of belief. So I'm not deluded about that. I stand clearly in self, knowing that, look, what I you know be this, but the thing where you know, say, this one you don't test, is why no try me again. You understand? Don't walk up that cliff. You gonna fall, nigga. Don't fuck up. You understand? Gravity is real. This is real. Air, oxygen, water, careful. Don't go and drown. You know how to swim. These are data points that help me navigate my environment in real time. And I'm real about that to myself. To a point where I can even say, look, hey, I hear what you say, and I respect that. And it's in line with what I'm also saying on some, look, man, it all starts and ends with you. And like you're also saying, as much as you're not alone. We're collective. We're plenty. And inside all of us, guy, each of us still has our own part to play. Sorry, I'm very dramatic. Sorry. I'm a unicorn. Say wish. 1, 2, 3. Gone. I'm going to send you a clip about, apparently they say anytime you see a unicorn, well, no, they say unicorns are only friendly to men that have not been touched or women that have not been touched. What would you call them, virgins? Now we like to break that gate in battery. That's it.
Doesn't that sound like dedication?
What sounds like dedication?
Now we they like to break that gate in virtue.
What does that mean?
Story for the gods.
Break the gates.
Nah, I was never one of them niggas. Fuck that shit.
But nigga, well,
I would tell the bitch, we'll get you some experience. When you feel you are at my level, come back on me. We'll see.
You still playing the fucking little games, bitch.
But then again, you know what? This whole yeah, it's interesting.
Yo.
I've always wondered, do women enjoy their first time as much as men?
Fucking game.
No. Different experience.
Yeah, I don't imagine it will be the same. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
You good?
Can we continue this conversation tomorrow?
Yes, sir. Tomorrow's
Please, God, thank you.
tomorrow's Thursday though. You said Friday earlier. You want to call you tomorrow or Friday?
No, let's make it Friday. We'll pick up on the whole conversation entirely.
Let's do that, man. No walla.
Great, that, man. Thank you.
No walla, man. Chill, relax. You know what I mean? Enjoy the rest of your night, bro.
Super relaxed right now. Chow time, bedtime.
Sounds good. All right, man.
Yeah, man. Please. Have a good night.
Good night, bro.
All right.